Are you confused by food labels? Did you know some snacks are packed with more chemicals than nutrients? Wondering what's healthy and what's not at the food store in your neighborhood? In this video, we shall crack the code on ultra-processed foods. 70% of consumers are unable to define ultra-processed foods. The term is fairly new to the public, but one thing is for sure. Majority of the consumers say they don't want overly manufactured products for food. The definition of ultra-processed food was coined by Carlos Monteiro, a professor of nutrition and public health at the University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. In the mid-1990s, the professor noticed something alarming. Obesity rates among children in his country were rising rapidly. To understand why, he and his colleagues at the University of Sao Paulo scrutinized data on the food buying patterns of Brazilian households to see if they had changed in recent years. Well, the patterns had indeed changed, and the obesity seemed to be a result of an increase in consumption of a class of foods that was not clearly defined. Monteiro then found the need to develop a food classification system. This classification is based on the level of processing. They called it NOVA, and it's divided into 4 groups. Group 1, these are unprocessed or minimally processed foods. These include fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, meat, milk, eggs, among others. Group 2, these are processed culinary ingredients. They are substances extracted from whole foods, such as oils, fats, sugars, and starches. They are used in home cooking and food preparation, and are kept in jars or in the refrigerator for later use. Group 3, these are processed foods. The foods are made by adding substances like salt, oil, or sugar to unprocessed or minimally processed foods. That is adding Group 2 to Group 1 foods. They include canned vegetables, freshly made breads, jams, and cheeses. They are products for domestic use and are made up of only a few ingredients. Then comes Group 4, the big one. The ultra-processed foods, these are industrially formulated food products. They are made mostly or entirely from substances derived from foods. They use many ingredients, including food additives, hydrogenated fats, modified starches, and ingredients that are rarely used in home cooking, such as soy protein or mechanically separated meat. They are characterized by a good pleasantness and a long shelf life. Do you know what this means? Every time you are out there shopping, you need to become a food label detective. This will be your only way to get an idea if a food is ultra-processed or not. If you don't recognize many of the ingredients listed on the label, that can be a sign that there was a lot of processing involved. And if you look at the ingredient list and you see things that you wouldn't use in home cooking, then that's probably an ultra-processed food. Ultra-processed foods are clever manipulations of mostly unhealthy ingredients titrated to appeal to common cravings. They are tasty by design, but it's all a trick. For example, our bodies are naturally drawn to the sweetness of fruits because of its associated nutritional value. That's why ultra-processed food could add an artificial ingredient of fruity sweetness, but does not have the nutritional value historically associated with that fruit. To make the situation worse are the ingredients added to enhance shelf life, including unhealthy fats and preservative chemicals that may have negative health outcomes. Here are some common examples of ultra-processed foods. Sweetened breakfast cereals, packaged snacks like chips and cookies. Sugary drinks like soda, instant soups, chicken nuggets, and hot dogs. Frozen pizzas, mass-produced breads, flavored yogurts. Prepackaged and microwave-ready meals. Some alcoholic drinks like whiskey, gin, and rum. While occasional indulgence is okay, regularly consuming ultra-processed foods has been linked to various health concerns. When scientists graded the evidence, they found links of diets rich in ultra-processed foods with increased risks for cardiovascular disease, mental health disorders, diabetes, obesity, and sleep problems. Associations to asthma, gastrointestinal disease, some cancers, and other health issues were, however, limited. Ultimately, ultra-processed foods are better at preserving shelf life than human life. So remember, reading labels is your superpower. The best advice to everyone who seeks bountiful, healthy life. Choose foods that don't have and don't need labels or labeling. These are fresh vegetables, fruits, dried legumes, and whole grains, also referred to as the Blue Diet. To find more informative content, including what this magical blue diet is all about, please subscribe to this channel.